Blizzard warnings here.
No warnings
news.
whatsoever.
Okay.
But I think the thing to think about, though, is even if we're not under any warnings, a little bit can go a long way.
Sure.
A little bit of ice and sleet, it may not look bad, but when you're on the roads, and especially when you're at the mercy of other drivers,
that's true.
That's when it gets a little tricky and scary. Let's take a look at the headlines. Here's what we're tracking. Tonight, snow. That's going to be the main story. And by tonight, I mean, between I'd say 8, 9, 10 p.m. That's kind of when it starts, and then it moves eastward overnight tonight. It transitions to a little bit of freezing rain and ice tomorrow morning, and then late tomorrow morning, we then make that full transition to rain. So kind of a messy pattern here over the next several hours. Storm track radar showing mostly cloudy skies now. You see the beginnings of the system out to our west, but it's not necessarily snowing. In fact, it's not even snowing as far south and east as Champaign right now, and that's because there's lots of dry air. And what that essentially means is the precipitation begins to fall, but it evaporates before it actually can touch the ground because it's just so dry. So I would not expect to see too many snowflakes flying until well after sunset. Now, further to the south and to the east, there's actually quite a bit of heavy snow now moving through Peoria, and then further south, ice, sleet, freezing rain, and even rain further to the south. This is really a part of a warmer storm system that's going to be moving north and east through the evening into tomorrow. That's going to start on the colder side of things and end milder. Take a look at those temperatures to the south. It's 34 in Kansas City, but 17 in Minneapolis and 28 in Fort Wayne. So we will be tapping into that warmer air you see down to the south and west in due time. Timing tonight, snow is likely after about 10 p.m. Could start an hour or two earlier, but at that point it's not going to be too heavy. I think it really gets going after about 10 through about 4 a.m. Then freezing rain and sleet is the highest risk between about 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. And then it's all likely going to be rain after about 8 a.m. Now, again, you can give or take a couple hours here. You know how weather can be. Sometimes things slow down or speed up a little bit. But this is a pretty good indication here of the times that we're expecting the biggest risks to occur. Let's talk about the temperatures first. We're well below freezing tonight into early tomorrow morning. But watch what happens within the first few hours of Saturday. We're already at or just above freezing by about 5 a.m. And then off to the south and west, well above freezing. So the transition happens quite early. And then through Saturday late morning into the afternoon, we could very well, depending on how much snow we see, rise into the mid 40s. So that is definitely possible. And if that happens, then we're going to be talking about quite a bit of melting throughout the day. There's that chance for a little bit of snow early, but again, I really think it gets going after about 10 o'clock area-wide, including northwest Ohio. Further to the south and west, you can already see the beginnings of that warm air trying to sneak in. This is likely sleet, and that means that there's a shallow layer of warm air that's trying to kind of undercut the snow and thus melts the snow down and creates kind of some finer snow, and that's essentially sleet. But off to the south and west, this is what we're expecting is freezing rain, and that could start between about 2 and 6 a.m. And then there's the warmer air to the south and west, transitioning all of that icy mess to mostly just moderate rainfall. So we'll continue to track that as it moves through, but Angola, you're likely going to be the last to transition from wintry weather to just plain old cold rain between about 6 and 8 a.m. And then rain is likely through the rest of the late morning into the early afternoon on Saturday. So whatever snowfall does fall is likely to melt quickly. We could see 1 to 3 inches of snow up through Fort Wayne, 3 to 5 inches of snow closer to the Michigan state line. Closer to Michigan you are, the likelihood that you have more than about 3 inches to deal with. But again, as this all moves to rain, melting will occur pretty rapidly. So by the time you get up tomorrow, if you get up at about 9, it may look like not a whole lot happened. But we'll see early in the morning that accumulation will happen quickly. Sustained wind speeds will be out of the southeast initially between 50 and 20 miles per hour and then roar throughout tomorrow. Another reason why I think snow could really struggle to accumulate as the wind undercuts the ability for snow to really stick and make a big impact. So let's take a look now at what we're expecting in terms of the timing here and kind of an overview. Tonight, snow develops heaviest north with slippery conditions. As we head into tomorrow morning, early mix with freezing rain and a little bit of ice buildup. By tomorrow evening, we transition to rain, warming above